Hello, and I know that you can't see my face on here, but you can hopefully hear me through the audio. All right, this is multiplying fractions. We're going to be covering 3 sections of multiplying fractions. All right, multiplying fractions by a whole number, multiplying 2 or more fractions together, and then last, multiplying mixed numbers. So multiplying fractions, you multiply, when you're multiplying whole numbers times fractions, you multiply the whole number times the numerator, all right? So when you multiply the whole number by the numerator, you're multiplying the whole number by just the top number, okay? So for instance, in this example, 4 times 4/5, we multiply 4 times 4, and then we keep the denominator the same. So 16 over 5. 4 times 4 is 16 over 5. Okay, then you need to reduce. So 5 goes into 16 3 times, which gives you your whole number, leaving you with the remainder of 1, and then you put that over 5. All right, the reason why we multiplied the whole number times the numerator only is that the whole number doesn't have a denominator. So therefore, we're just multiplying the whole number times the top number, and then you keep the denominator the same. So in another example, we've got, once again, 3 times 1 over 9. So 3 times 1, the whole number times the numerator, 3 times 1. Keep the denominator the same, 9. 3 times 1 gives you 3 over 9. Need to reduce. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 9 3 times, giving you an answer of 1/3. Now the next section is a little bit different because you're not multiplying a whole number times the fraction. You are multiplying the fraction times a fraction. So before, where you didn't have a denominator on the whole number, you now have a denominator on both things that you're multiplying. So here, when you're multiplying 2 or more fractions together, you multiply the numerators together and you multiply the denominators together. So in this, 4/5 times 3/4, we multiply 4 times 3 because they're both the numerators. Put that over the denominators, 5 times 4. So 4 times 3 gives me 12. 5 times 4 gives me 20. So now my answer is 12 over 20, but I'm not done reducing. If I divide by 2, I get 6 over 10. And then if I divide by 2 again, I get 3 over 5. So remember that when you're multiplying 2 fractions together, 2 or more fractions together, you multiply the numerators together, and then you also multiply the denominators together. Okay? So in this one, we've got 7 over 5 times 2 over 3. So we have an improper fraction times a regular fraction. Does not change. You still multiply the numerators together. 7 times 2 is 14 over 5 times 3, which is 15. So 14 over 15 is going to be my answer. When multiplying mixed numbers together, it's a little bit different, but not much different. Okay? So when you're multiplying mixed numbers together, you have to make it an improper fraction. So you need to turn the mixed number into an improper fraction by multiplying the whole number times the denominator and adding the numerator, and then you put that back over the denominator. So here, for this example, you've got 1 3/5, which is a mixed number, times 2/3, which is a fraction. We need to turn that 1 3/5 into an improper fraction. So you multiply the whole number 1 times 5, which is the denominator, plus 3, which is the numerator. So 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3 is 8, so therefore 8 over 5 is my improper fraction. Now I have a fraction times a fraction. I have 8/5 times 2/3. So now I multiply the numerators together, 8 times 2, over the denominators, 5 times 3. 8 times 2 is 16. 5 times 3 is 15. So my answer is 16 over 15, but I'm not done because I need to finish reducing. I need to turn that into a mixed number. 15 goes into 16 one time, giving you a whole number of 1, giving you a remainder of 1, and putting that over 15. So 1 and 1/15. For the final example, it's just the same as you did on the previous one. Okay, you have now you have two mixed numbers that you're multiplying together. You've got 4 4/5 times 1 1/2. All right, so here you're going to turn, instead of one mixed number into an improper fraction, you're going to turn two mixed numbers into improper fractions. So here we've got 4 4/5 times 1 1/2. So you're going to turn the 4 4/5 into an improper fraction by taking the whole number 4 times the denominator 5 and adding 4, which is the numerator. So 4 times 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24. And then you put that over the 5. Then the 1 1/2, you take the whole number 1 times 2, which is the denominator, plus 1, which is the numerator. So 1 times 2 plus 1 gives you 3 over 2. So now you have 24 over 5 times 3 over 2. So now you're multiplying two fractions together. So you multiply the numerators, 24 times 3, which is 72. And then you take the denominators, 5 times 2, and multiply them together. So 24 times 5 is 72. 5 times 2 is 10. So 72 over 10 is my answer, but now I need to reduce. So 10 goes into 72 7 times, giving you a whole number of 7, leaving you with a remainder of 2 over 10. Need to continue to reduce. 2 goes into both of them, so 7 is my whole number. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 10 5 times. So 7 1/5 is my answer. So remember that the key is when you're multiplying fractions, that if you're multiplying a whole number times a fraction, you just multiply the numerators together, or the whole number times the numerator. If you're multiplying two fractions together, you multiply the numerators together and then put it over what the denominators multiplied together is. If you're multiplying mixed number times a fraction or a mixed number times a mixed number, you turn the mixed numbers into improper fractions so that now you're multiplying two fractions together. All right? So take your time answering the questions. Good luck, and then there will be a worksheet and math space to follow after the video.